Wwise 2025.1 brings major improvements to user experience and production workflow. With the introduction of the media pool, we can search and browse local sound libraries. And freely scrub the playback position while previewing audio. For the search results, regions can be automatically detected and selected, or we can manually choose multiple regions. Using the Region button, regions can be imported into the project all at once. Thanks to Live Edit, the new sounds are updated in-game immediately without generating sound banks. In addition, even when file names are not descriptive, we can still search for sounds using abstract text prompts, such as crunchy. Or dark atmosphere. By right-clicking any result, we can also find similar sounds based on the audio content itself. At the same time, specific metadata fields can be added as filters to further refine the search results. Any adjustments made during preview can also be applied when importing the sound into the project. The naming and hierarchy of the project structure have been unified in this new version. Content that was previously separated across different hierarchies is now placed into clearer groups. Furthermore, the renaming of the main audio bus and the property container makes property assignment and their roles in mixing clearer. In the property editor, several improvements have been introduced. The central divider has been removed, and when resizing or adjusting column width, the content now adapts, making the display more stable and easier to read. Keyboard navigation allows us to switch quickly between different property fields, helping speed up parameter editing. Each object type now comes with default favorites that are automatically loaded when switching between different objects. In addition, the notes field can now be fully expanded and supports full text search, making it easier to document design decisions and quickly retrieve them when needed. For events that are triggered at a high frequency, we can now configure a limit and cooldown time at the event level to restrict how many times the same event can be triggered within a given period. In this case, where many instances occur at once, we can define the maximum number of event instances, as well as the cooldown duration to control how soon the event may be triggered again. This helps prevent excessive repetition of the same sound while also improving runtime performance. When adjusting the volume slider in-game, we can see properties such as volume respond to RTPC values in real time. When an RTPC is set to solo, we can listen only to the effect of this RTPC. When an RTPC is muted, its influence on the property is temporarily removed. This makes it easier to isolate issues and to verify the outcome of our edits. The multiband meter plugin allows us to measure the full band signal as well as 4 user-configured bands. A selected band can output to a gain parameter, allowing us to dynamically attenuate the corresponding band on another bus and achieve band-based sidechain processing. The new parametric EQ provides a visual frequency response graph and supports up to 8 filter bands. Inside the frequency graph, we can adjust each band directly by dragging its control point. A single band can be soloed, allowing us to listen only to the effect of that band on the sound. Dynamics can also be enabled, so that the gain of a band changes in real time based on the input signal or an external control signal. The new sidechaining feature is introduced through a dedicated sidechain mix share set. Using the sidechain send effect, we can send a bus signal into the sidechain mix and select it as the sidechain input in a plugin. This allows to apply level-based dynamic compression in the compressor. Or band-based dynamic processing in the parametric EQ, making ducking behavior natural and highly controllable. Dual shell filter is a new filtering approach that provides a perceptually natural way to shape frequency changes in scenarios such as distance, diffraction, or occlusion. In the game scene, we can compare the distance attenuation results between a low and high pass setup and DSF. With low and high pass filter, the filtering effect can sound more pronounced. While with DSF, the transition feels smoother and more natural. In the attenuation editor, the volume curve under distance attenuation now supports a non option, allowing distance to be applied without a volume change. The new Game Object 3D Viewer further enhances acoustics debugging. The new Settings toolbar at the top allows us to toggle different categories of information so we can show or hide objects of acoustic elements as needed. Frequently used display options can also be pinned to the toolbar, making them easy to access during debugging. On the left, the Game Object list supports visibility control via the eye icons. We can also right-click and choose Show Only Selected to focus on a specific emitter and its related paths. When we click any game object or acoustic path in the 3D view, the Object Properties panel on the right updates automatically, showing information such as object type, position, as well as diffraction, transmission, and other acoustic data. These improvements make it easier to visually inspect the relationship between game object and their acoustic paths. The room component introduces a new distance behavior setting, which defines how distance is calculated when rooms are nested or overlap. In subtract mode, the current room is treated as a distinct space. When the listener enters this room, distance attenuation is applied to the room tone of other rooms. In exclude mode, this room does not participate in the distance calculation of other rooms. When the listener enters this area, the room tone of other rooms are not attenuated. The new ADM Recorder plugin allows signals sent to an object-based audio bus to be recorded as an ADM format WAV file. After generating the sound bank, we can start recording during gameplay. Once the recording is complete, the resulting file can be brought back into Wwise, where we can inspect the 3D information and motion over time for both the beds and the audio objects.